The Remnant Radio has come out with shots fired against John MacArthur over at Grace Community Church because of a recent video that he made teaching his congregation about the issues with healers today and how they do not heal like Jesus healed in his earthly ministry. And so with this, guys, if you don't know who the Remnant Radio is, they're a group of guys in a YouTube channel, and they are known as continuationists, which a continuationist is a person who believes that the gifts are for today, which means that the sign gifts, healing, prophecy, tongues, etc., those gifts are for today and still used today and given to believers today. And then you have John MacArthur, who is a pastor at Grace Community Church, and he is a cessationist. And if you don't know what a cessationist is somebody who does not believe that the gifts are still in practice today, in use today. Now, that does not mean all gifts. We have to be clear on that. That specifically means only the sign gifts. So prophecy, healing, tongues, those gifts are not for today, nor are they in use today. That's what a cessationist would believe. Now, my issue with the Remnant Radio and their kind of, not attack, but, for better word, their attack on John MacArthur and his teachings on this Sunday with healing is, I feel like they're really fishing for things. I feel like they're being a little bit petty with their going after John MacArthur and his teachings. Could John MacArthur be more clear? Yes, absolutely. Because John MacArthur in the video was saying, hey, how Jesus did this, how Jesus healed people was by word and by touch, and it happened immediately. And then, of course, as he's going through his teachings of this and giving examples, he says he healed people immediately. And then it says in the scriptures, that very hour, that person was healed. And so, of course, we can understand that that wasn't done immediately, but that person was still healed. And so the Remnant Radio kind of took that and was like, well, that doesn't sound like it's immediate. And so there were some other things that they went through. I listened to John MacArthur's teaching on this. I listened to the Remnant Radio's response video on John MacArthur with this. And so my issue with the Remnant Radio and their trying to get John MacArthur and say, haha, see, this is where you messed up on your teachings with this and your theology with this, is they were fishing for things in this sense. And I am a continuationist. I believe the gifts are for today. I believe that people get those gifts according to the will of the Spirit as the scriptures make it clear. And so I have no issues with healings, prophecy, tongues, all those things. I have no issues with those so long as they line up with the scriptures, so long as they line up with how the Lord does them. And so the point MacArthur is making in all of this is quite simple. We see quote unquote healers today, yet they are laying hands on people who are in wheelchairs or who are in crutches or who are in actual physical, visible ailments, diseases. And yet those people are going into those events one way and leaving the same exact way. They are not changing. They are not walking out of those events out of their wheelchairs or away from the crutches or with no more physical, actual visible disease gone. They're leaving the same way they came in. And that's the point MacArthur's making. And that's the point the Remnant Radio needs to see. Now, that's the issue I have as well with these quote unquote healers today, is they will lay hands on somebody who's in a wheelchair and they'll ask them in the process, how do you feel? Do you feel anything? No? Okay, let's keep praying. How about now? Do you feel anything? Oh, you feel some tingling in your toes? Okay, let's keep praying. And it's like this long, drawn out process. And we do not see that in the scriptures at all. We don't see that anywhere in the scriptures of Jesus laying hands on somebody and then asking them, how do you feel? Are you getting feeling? Oh, you got feeling in your toes? Okay, let's keep praying. Let's keep praying. Let's keep praying. we don't see that at all. We never saw that from the apostles, the disciples. We never saw that happen at all. And that should cause for great concern in the sight of, hey, these people say that they're healers, yet where's the actual healing being done? Because of course you're going to have people who say, oh, I have heart palpitations, or I have headaches, or I have lower back pain, and then they're going to like lay hands on those people, and those people are going to be like, I feel great, I feel amazing, I'm healed, and they go on with their day and everyone's like, praise the Lord. But then as soon as somebody with a wheelchair comes, or when crutches comes, or a real actual physical visible disease comes their way, like cancer, maybe they have cancer, there's nothing done. There's no change, sadly. And of course, there's people out there who say, well, I've laid hands on people who had those things and they've been healed. And again, there would be some nice proof to see that. We need to see people getting out of wheelchairs who are being laid hands on by quote unquote healers of today and walking out of that place. Actual people, actual physical, visible diseases being healed. But the truth is, it doesn't happen. And if that was the case, one of the greatest points we can all make is, listen, if these people are quote unquote actual healers and given the actual gift of healing by the Lord, why aren't they going to cancer hospitals and laying hands on all the patients? Why isn't a person like Todd White or Kenneth Copeland, or why wasn't Kenneth Hagin when he was alive doing that? Why isn't why aren't these people who are quote unquote healers of today going into these cancer hospitals, going into any hospital and laying hands on people and healing them? That is a fair question to ask. That's a fair question that we should be asking. And so for Remnant Radio to come out and try and fish for errors in MacArthur's teachings on this is a bit petty in my eyes. And although I don't agree with John MacArthur's teachings on the healing and the gifts, I have to side with MacArthur on this and say, Remnant Radio, you need to do a better job at calling somebody out and actually providing real good reason for doing so, and not just doing it because there may be a easy target for this.